I am an ambitious person, and why not starting to share my thoughts, my vision? In those moments, I didn't know where these things will lead me, but I decided to start. And the breathwork plays a crucial role for two different reasons. The first one, it was crucial to manage my anxiety and my stress correlated with that period. I started to practice, watch some YouTube videos, and I experienced that just 10 or 15 minutes of breathwork practice helped me to feel better. And it was a very okay for me to do this practice. And the second reason was about the focus, because I experienced a very sensation of mental clarity after this session. And so I decided to go deeper in this world, and I read some books, for example, the Wim Hof method.
Before we dive into today's episode, please hit that subscribe button. Your support helps us grow and inspire more people on their journeys. Thank you. Hello Dan, thank you for joining us today and welcome to the show.
Hi Tom, thank you for your invitation. I'm super happy today to be here with you and super excited.
Thank you Dan, it's same from my side, and in case there are people that don't know you, can you please introduce yourself?
Absolutely. So I'm Daniele. I live in Arcore, not so far from Milano, Italy. And I'm actually 38, 37. After a certain age, it's difficult to remember the right number.
I stopped counting my age too because it's getting I feel like too old, so it's better not to.
The same. And I had the possibility during my career journey to wear different hats. And I've been an architect. I've been a CGI artist. It means a computer graphic artist. I've been a manager for more or less 7 years. And, in the last few years, I became a breathwork coach. And right now, I'm working as a LinkedIn branding specialist on this platform. And, I love to go deep on different things because I truly love to follow what lights me up.
Mm-hmm. I like what you said because it's a rich experience, and a very good point is that, as you said, you tried different areas before. You also mentioned your age, and I'm sure that you experienced it as well or heard it as well, that sometimes people wonder if it's too late, for example, to join LinkedIn. So now, as people heard your story, it's never late, and I think also what you said, that's the right mindset. So for people who are thinking, is it too late to join? Now you got the answer.
Yeah, that's a great point. Because, we are living in a world that is changing so fast.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we have to be ready to surf the waves because what we have around us is changing so fast. The changement is very quick. And what we did maybe 10 years ago, it doesn't work anymore right now. That's why I think we have to find our opportunities. And from difficulties, we can find the right way to change ourselves and to adapt ourselves to this new world and to be ready to change again in the future.
I agree, and I like such a mindset. And who knows, when we release this episode, it might be outdated already because word changes, right? But I try to keep in mind that if people think it's too late, you can start now. If you leave it for tomorrow, then it might be too late. So there is this saying, the best start to start was yesterday, and the second best start is to start today.
Yeah. There are a lot of posts on LinkedIn and also especially on Twitter about this specific topic. And, after reading so many times this thing, people maybe think that it can be very, maybe superficial as a thing, but it's not like that. It's one of the deepest thing that you can experience because you can start in any age something new. And as you said, the right moment is right now, but if you don't start right now, the best moment can be tomorrow.
It's very true. It just brings me my memories. For example, as we were discussing LinkedIn when I started there, and you've got this tendency to compare yourself to others, or you see bigger names and you look at yourself. And I was thinking, wow, never going to reach it. It's such a big name, so many followers. But I sticked with it, and now, I don't know, a year or 2 years after, it's actually made some progress. So you never know where it goes.
Yeah. That's absolutely true. I started from my own experience. I started my journey on LinkedIn in January 2024. We are talking about 1 year and 11 months, more or less.
Anniversary soon.
Yeah. From zero. I had just, I think 400 connections because I joined LinkedIn in 2012, I think, but I
12. Oh,
didn't.
wow.
As many people didn't think that this platform can be useful for my business in any way. But I started to share something correlated about my vision of the world. I started my very first post were terrible, a lot of emojis everywhere.
Some hashtags.
After I saw that some people started to saw my post to make them the first likes, even if my first posts were terrible. But so that encouraged me to continue to share my vision of the world, my personal perspective, even if at the beginning I didn't know that I will start my business so quickly.
I can only relate because for me in the beginning it was, I don't want to say terrible, but looking back sometimes cringe, no strategy. But at the same time, I see it as a way of progress, the way that you improve. So I think it's kind of important part of starting out.
Yeah. So when I work with my clients on branding strategies, one of the best tip I think that I can share with people that they are starting with LinkedIn is please don't spend so much time on your first post to refine, to improve the structure, etc. Just post it. It's like, I don't know if you ever heard something about the Agile. It's like a method that I discovered during my time as a manager in the company where I worked. And, the goal here is to create the MVP. It means minimum valuable product. That's, after the first delivery, you can work on that iteration after iteration to improve what you created. And this concept it's the same that I suggest to my clients when we work on brand, and we have to start and day by day we can refine that first steps. Yesterday I took a look to my first banner and it was strange. There isn't a real call to action. The main phrase had no sense, but I had that banner. Maybe I can share that with you later. But I took that banner maybe for 6 months, and that was okay.
But as you say, I think it's fine because it shows you the progress that you've made. I remember mine as well. It was terrible and I wouldn't, want to use it anymore again. But at the same time, it shows me that I improved since then. I learned how to do it, how to improve it, how to make it better. And I think it's kind of nice, like a feeling of satisfaction that you improved and you made it better over time.
Yeah, absolutely. That sensation to look maybe 1 year before, then you can experience that, okay, I was there, I'm here right now. And when you look at the big picture, it's also a crucial aspect, to overcome some challenging situations in the present, because the path is not linear. Now I started my business. I have important clients. For example, my last client was mentioned. She was mentioned in Forbes. And this for me, it's amazing. But maybe if a sale call will go wrong, maybe for that day I will be sad. But in those moments, it's crucial, to zoom out and look at the big picture. In April, I had 0 clients, and right now the situation is totally different, and I have to be grateful for what I reached. And it's also a game to balance our emotions. The breath work in this game is helping me a lot.
Yeah, I want to discuss breath work more, but I was just about to add what we discussed before, like trying to polish your first post. I think what's the reality is that people often overthink it and then try to polish, spend time so that it's perfect. But the reality often is that you post it, but it's not like that everyone would suddenly come and see that and, praise you or criticize you or anything. You post it, and I think that mostly the reality is that it just goes there, but it's not such a big deal. It's just one post out of many. So I think it's a good reminder not to overthink it, just to get it out there. And it again reminds me of spotlight effect, when we think that everyone is looking at us, going to judge us for what we do, but in reality, yes, people may see it, but it's not such a big deal for them.
Yeah. There is another secret. People in this specific time are surrounding by content.
Yeah.
No one pay so much attention to your content, even if you are a huge creator, because every person is focused on his personal journey. On LinkedIn, it's a little bit difficult, challenging to see some shitstorms. But I'm also on YouTube, and on YouTube, at times it happens. But this situation may be just a matter of 1 day, 2 days, 1 week, and then people forget everything.
That is true.
Just, publish that fucking post, please.
And don't forget about the oversaturation of, as you mentioned, YouTube. I spent a lot of time there as well. And you can see AI slop everywhere. So much of content that is, AI generated voiceovers, graphics, I don't know what else, which just makes it oversaturated and much harder to find something quality, or it's easy to overlook something quality if there is like so much of other low quality content.
Yeah, totally. So I tried with the YouTube 3 times, because I think that it's normal for everyone to try to find some shortcuts. At the beginning, I was looking for every type of shortcuts. Then I discovered on my screen that unfortunately or fortunately, there aren't shortcuts. And, I started my first YouTube channel with stupid AI videos. It doesn't work.
What was it about?
It was like meditation stuff with some AI videos and gently music, but it doesn't work. So the second time I tried with an English channel, but I didn't try the path that I did with LinkedIn. I started with LinkedIn genuinely to share my thoughts, to share my vibes, to share who I am. On YouTube, I didn't do that because I hired a person that wrote my script. I had a video maker, and I just recorded the video. The results were cold, and that's why the channel didn't grow. So I decided to start for a third time on April after working 2 months with an amazing YouTube coach, an Italian YouTube coach that the name of this person is Luca. Very, very amazing coach. And I decided to start it on YouTube as I did on LinkedIn. Just shared my thoughts, my vision, etc. And after, I started in April. And after publishing more or less on this channel, I think 25 videos, I'm talking about personal growth, and I'm analyzing people from sports environment. And the channel is started to grow. Now I reached more or less 500 followers, and one of my last video get 10,000 views.
Wow, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah. The views started to grow, a lot of likes, comments, etc. But once again, when we talk about authenticity, this is a crucial point. We have to have a vision, but we have to share our story. And it's not the same. It's not the only important thing. We have to share our story as a vehicle because we have to use the psychology to, help people to understand our message and especially how can we help them through our message. That's the big difference that help us to create trust with people and to convert followers in leads.
And I think, again, perfect example that although you tried 3 times, it hasn't worked out, but you didn't give up. You tried again, differently. And sometimes it takes just more attempts to actually figure out what works and primarily what you enjoy as well, right?
Absolutely. Because I think that without the first attempt and the second one, I wasn't able to find
The one that actually works.
exactly. And that's the same concept that we analyzed before. It's a matter of iteration.
Yep. And improving along the way, I agree. Are you struggling to stay consistent on LinkedIn? Fan Post helps you create high quality posts in minutes, so you can write faster, show up more, and stress way less. Built by creators for creators is the easiest way to grow your presence without burning out. Try it free at fanpost.com. And then I'm very curious about your breath work, as we discussed before, and it's also something that I remember when we connected over LinkedIn. I think that was like one of the first posts that I saw that you talked about. So maybe in the first place, why did you start with that, or how did you discover breath work?
Sure, that's a great question. So, as I mentioned before, I worked as a manager for 7 years. I had the possibility to co-create a department in a company in Milano. I joined this company in 2015 as a CGI artist, computer graphic artist in the architectural field. And we were just 8 people when I joined the company. But after 3-4 years, the company grew a lot. And I had the possibility to co-create with another person the department of computer graphic of this company. And it was an amazing journey because I had the possibility to hire the right people for the department, to create guidelines, to ensure the right quality. And 2 years ago, this department and the company was mentioned the best CGI company in Europe. We won, I don't know how to translate in English, like when you win something.
Yeah, like award recognition.
Yeah. Exactly.
Can you name it if people want to have a look what it is?
Sure. Tecma Solution is the name of this company. The CEO of this company, it's a visionary. I love this person because during my journey, he transmits me a lot. Some years ago after COVID, it was a challenging period for the real estate market. So, the market is changing. The company has to adapt to the market, and he changed a little bit the structure. And my previous chief decided to work with just one manager of the department. This person decided to work with the other guy. And, for me, it was a challenging moment. We will arrive to Breathwork soon, just some minutes again. And for me, it was a challenging moment because I didn't know how to do. And I started a coaching journey 4 years ago to learn English because 3 years ago I wasn't able to speak just one word in English, zero. It was terrible. And so this coaching language journey helped me to figure out the next steps because it wasn't just about language, but it was about also my career, this coaching journey with Nicolas Luna, an amazing guy from Mexico. And, together with Nicolas, we figure out the best solution for me in that specific moment. So I decided to continue working with this company in the department that I created. that I co-created. And so many people said to me, oh, you should leave the company. It's not the right path for you. In this specific moment, I think you have to do just one thing. Listen from yourself. Maybe working with the coach that helps you to listen to different questions to help to see some blind spots. But I think that the only one person that knows how to do is you, because you have all of the emotions. After 7 years as a manager, it wasn't easy for me to accept to work in the department that I co-created. But I thought that it was fine to do something that honestly I still love. And that's the moment where I discovered breathwork, and also I started to write on LinkedIn, because I said, okay, I'm willing to do something with less responsibility, but I am an ambitious person, and why not starting to share my thoughts, my vision? In those moments, I didn't know where these things will have to lead me, but I decided to start. And the breathwork plays a crucial role for two different reasons. The first one, it was crucial to manage my anxiety and my stress correlated with that period. I started, to practice, to watch some YouTube videos of a channel, Breathe with Sandy, and I experienced that just 10 minutes or 15 minutes of breathwork practice helped me to feel better. And it was a very okay for me to do this practice. And the second reason was about the focus, because I experienced a very sensation of mental clarity after this session. And so I decided to go deeper in this world, and I read some books. For example, the Wim Hof method.
That's actually something I was about to ask you later about Wim Hof.
Yeah. We will arrive soon to the Wim Hof, because I have something cool to share with that. And so I started to practice the Wim Hof method, some cold showers, and also specific breath work. And after reading the Wim Hof method, I'd like to go deeper in the science of breath work and breathing. And casually, I found on the Amazon, I know it's not so cool as a story, but it's the reality. I was looking on Amazon book, and I discovered the Oxygen Advantage Method by Patrick McKeown, and I decided to read the book, even if at the time my English wasn't still bad. I decided to read that in English. According with my coach, I needed to do everything in my non-native language. And, I discovered a deep world, and I started to practice that method. I started to see some improvements. And, the Oxygen Advantage world, it's very correlated with performance and also with sports, athletes. And so I'm into CrossFit, so I decided to apply that concept in my training, and I saw a huge improvements in my performance. There was a course training in Messina, in the south of Italy, 3 years ago, I think, more or less. And I decided to join with Leonardo Pelagotti. He actually is a Wim Hof instructor and also an Oxygen Advantage coach. And I decided to took the certification, and I did a course with him, the certification as an Oxygen Advantage coach. And I started to work with my first clients on this specific method. And I decided to try to share my personal vision about this world, because the proposition of the Oxygen Advantage, as I said before, it's very correlated with sports and performance. But one of the key principles that they explain you during the training is that the majority of the people suffer from chronic overbreathing.
I honestly probably do not know what it is, if you can explain.
Okay, yeah. It means that we breathe more than what we actually need.
Oh, yes, yes.
There is a correct way to breathe. We have to breathe slow, deep, activating every breath our diaphragm and with our nose. And what I thought is why not try to teach to normal people, not athletes, etc., to breathe properly during the day.
Yep, and I was just going to say that's something that I got from your content, and when we connected, that's what I see on LinkedIn. And I don't know if it's just me or maybe I don't follow such people, but I do not really know, many people that will be talking about this on LinkedIn.
Yeah. That's a very specific topic. And I recently decided to make a change about my proposition just for the reason that I shared at the beginning, because I like to evolve. But recently, a person wrote something in the DM that say, "Oh no, now you are one of the faceless branding strategies on
Oh my
LinkedIn."
god!
Yeah.
And did that person write it as kind of as a joke or as a serious?
No, serious.
Okay, wow, that's I don't know what to say.
And I think that every person has his specific journey. And my journey, now my idea is why not to enhance my visibility with more common topics, working also with the visibility of my brand that now I have a lot of followers, etc. I have the possibility for doing that right now. But why not starting my branding session with Breathwork?
It's actually something that makes it unique and makes you stand out, right? And I think what's important to mention is that yes, there are many people who focus on branding, but from your perspective, you've got almost 20k followers. Who knows when we release, maybe you have already. So you've got actually some experience behind it. And you said that first you joined LinkedIn years ago, but regardless, you've been there for like 2 years. But these days, you often see people who have, I don't know, few thousand, few hundred followers, which nothing against it. But I think that many times it's like people who do branding or graphic, and immediately it doesn't mean that you are personal branding expert or strategist. Whereas then there is someone with actually real experience, and then it's a different story.
Yeah. That's the main difference, I think. And we have to be patient. We have to create our own journey. We can also share the win, the failures, because at the end, people buy from you if they trust you. That's the main important thing that a lot of people still don't get it.
That is so true. And I always say it, and to me, it applies always when I see someone, talking about lows, failures, and like negative side of things. It always stands out to me because you open LinkedIn and many times you see posts like, I closed this number of clients, booked this number of calls, made money, blah, blah. But it may be true, but you see it all the time. But if there's actually someone who's willing to share even negative aspects, be more vulnerable and authentic, it always resonates with me much more.
Yeah. After 1 year on LinkedIn, I had 12,000 followers, more or less, but zero clients. My
Mhm.
first lead magnet was downloaded from one person or two. And, I said to me, okay, there is something in my content that resonates with people because I'm growing, but there is something that I still didn't get it. And that was the moment that I decided to join LinkUp, the Mina League community. And for me, it was a real game changer for my content, for lead generation, for my proposition, because, I decided to learn from the best in these specific fields. So I had a solid foundation about how to move on the platform, about how to create content, etc. But I had some help to, you know, complete the entire picture. And the most important thing, I learned so many things in the communities because Jasmine, it's insane, really, really. It's I don't know, but that man is crazy, really.
No, he's a really nice guy.
And
I agree. And I think
he's
another,
humble, by the way.
yeah, I haven't spoken with him, but I get that sense of him, firstly from his posts, and secondly from even interaction in his comments. And even when people talk about him, because he's been mentioned so many times, like on my podcast, even when I spoke with you, or over the LinkedIn. So he's a really nice guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, I'm super happy to be a part of LinkUp just because I'm learning a lot of different things. And also, I met so many. When I joined LinkUp, okay, I was thinking I'm joining something to improve, my knowledge, etc. Maybe after 6 months, I will leave that place because I will have everything that I need. But this specific community, it's more than that because the best value, it's not just the insane value about the masterclass experts that help you in everything. For me, the best value is the people inside the community. And I met when I was in Bosnia in the first Link Up event. I was on the stage with Shauna. She is a neuroscientist. I met this Indian girl that moved billions in the real estate market. I met Edo Dalik. He built from scratch his personal company in the internet, fiber, etc. There are so many people in that company that play very high. And if you are surrounded by this type of people, it's easier for you to play that game. And actually, I think this is the best value that I'm finding in the community.
I was going to say that it really makes a difference, people that you surround yourself with. There's this good saying that you are average of 5 people that you spend the most time with, and it really makes big difference and influence. And I was about to mention, for example, Shaka, because I saw recently a picture with Shaka. Shaka is one of my favorites. I was very happy to see that.
Yeah, Sarka, she's amazing. We are working right now on her breathing pattern. She bought my 4-week program about the oxygen advantage during the event in Bosnia. We was walking in the woods with other people, and she started to ask me some questions, and I explained to her that people that usually use just only this part of their lunges due to shallow breathing, but if we learn to breathe deeper, we can use the entire capacity of our lunges. And that was for her, I didn't know, but that was for her a very pain point because she usually goes to mountain and she wants to improve her capacity to walking without feeling tired. So that was the moment that she decided to bought my program.
Yeah, it's very happy to see that. And she always shares pretty cool pictures from mountains where she lives. So I'm glad to hear that. And great stuff about the event as well. And then the question that I like to ask, and I'm curious about, is that as you've been on LinkedIn for some time, and I'm sure that you get lots of messages. So when someone asks you for advice, how to grow, maybe even advice how to go viral, and this type of DMs, what is it that you answer to people?
Yeah. I don't have a specific answer, but I usually start to applying my personal vision with psychology. I usually prefer to answer with calm. I have a sort of framework that I usually follow to answer to this type of message because if a person asks me for a tip, it means that maybe this person can be a client.
Hmm, this smart approach.
Yeah, yeah. And what I'm actually doing right now is open Stanley AI, a super tool that I discovered recently. I usually did before with ChatGPT or other AI software, but I take some posts or some specific stuff from this person. I put that into the AI and I ask to analyze a little bit, and then I tailored a specific DM for this person and with my personal touch, because this DM, if I want to convert this person in a client, this DM has to be very
Customized.
exactly.
Yes, yes, that makes sense, and it's smart, and I like it. And then, just to be aware of time, as we will be approaching the end soon, I like to ask kind of lighter questions. So, what is it actually that you like doing in your free time, or what are some of your hobbies?
Yeah. So I love practice CrossFit in my free time, and I usually do that 3 times a week or 4 when I have more time. For me, it's something a great priority, and also I love playing soccer. But to be honest, I played at an amateur level for 20 years, more or less. But recently, unfortunately, I played it very few.
Okay. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I've seen that you even did some competitions in CrossFit.
Yeah, not a CrossFit competition, but I joined some Heroes race.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's very, very cool. And also some Spartan races.
Oh, like OCRs, obstacle course races.
Yeah, totally.
I've done some too, and it's always been fun and a really cool experience that pushes you, and at the same time, it's a great fun if you do it with others as well.
Totally. It's amazing. I love it.
Mhm. And then, when it comes to books, do you read books? And if so, have you got any recommendations or any tips?
Yeah, I spent 3 years of my life reading so much, especially when I was a manager, because I was looking for something to help my grow as a manager and also to help the people of the teams, etc. And that's the period of my life where I discovered a strong passion for personal growth. But recently, to be honest, I'm reading unfortunately less book. Maybe I'm reading one book every 2 months, more or less. I recently read this one.
Oh, from Stephen Bartlett.
Yeah.
Okay.
I reading that during the summer, and I also did made a video on my Italian YouTube channel about that book, because there are some rules that helps you to better manage your life, and I think everyone has to read that type of informations, especially if you are a child. I truly believe that we have to learn how to manage our relationship. We have to learn how to face the difficulties, how to learn to change some bad habits, and to learn new paths to develop better habits. I think these are crucial aspects that you have to learn as a.
Yeah. And I think never forget that learning goes throughout the whole life. It's not like that you would finish school or university and learning over, but never stop learning and discovering new things.
Yeah, absolutely. Another book that I usually suggest to people, it's Atomic Habits, a classic.
Yeah, yeah. But it's amazing one, I agree.
Yeah, it's amazing. And also the Almanac of Naval Ravikant, especially if you'd like to create something, an online business or something similar. I think that there are some very huge wisdom in that.
I agree and I only confirm. Then can you summarize where people can find you, follow you and promote any of your services?
Yeah, absolutely. My main channel is LinkedIn, and the people can find me on this specific platform with my name, Daniele Scuteri. I also have an Italian YouTube channel, Daniele Scuteri, as well. And I think that in the future it will be easier to translate in automatic my Italian content in English, but maybe in the future I will create something in English as well. So these are my two main platforms for my own program, because I have a specific 4-week program on branding strategies. It's possible to contact me in DM, and we can set up a quick 10-minute call to discuss a little bit about the details about how the program works.
Mm-hmm. No sales pitches, but feel free to reach out.
Totally.
And then what are maybe some of your plans or future goals that you've got, if there are any that we haven't discussed and there is anything exciting that we can be looking forward to?
I think that we touched the most important points. I like to add just one element regarding the Wim Hof method, because I will join an expedition in February in Lapland, in the north of Europe.
Is it in Finland?
Exactly. Yeah.
Isn't it where Santa lives?
Yeah. And, I will have the possibility to experience the Wim Hof method in the nature, practicing cold exposure, cold plunges, etc., in the wild nature. And the expedition will be organized by Leonardo Pelagotti, my mentor in the breathing world. And I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, it sounds pretty cool. I don't know if it's possible in such a weather, but try to bring a camera to make some vlogs. It will be really cool to see on YouTube or even LinkedIn.
Yeah, I will do that. Absolutely.
So then very last question, is there anything I should have asked you and did not, or any final piece of advice or anything to finish with?
So I think that you said to me most everything about we did a very great resume about my personal journey from LinkedIn, Breathwork, brand, etc. And so I'm very happy about our time today.
I thank you, Dan. I feel like that although we've never seen each other in real life, but we've been connecting on
I hope
LinkedIn
so.
for a while. And I always enjoy engaging with each other's comments and enjoy your content too. So I encourage people to follow, reach out to, and help to grow YouTube as well. So once again, thank you so much. One day I'll be happy to meet in real life as well. And I wish you all the best on your journey. So thank you.
Thank you, Tom. For me, it was amazing to join your fantastic podcast. I love it.
Thanks for listening to Produced by with Tomen. Check the show notes for all the links, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and share your feedback. Speak soon.